a one bed where they end up cuddling. I know you.
Quack. Welcome to the Little Duck Book Club with duck number 1,
Ren, and duck number 2,
Anna, and we are here again with another tier list because we love the tier lists, and it's February, love is in the air, so we are talking about, or ranking rather, our most favorite and non-favorite romance tropes you can find in books and stories in general. Duck number 1 again prepared this absolutely beautiful tier list for us. So I'm excited. Let's go in.
I'm also excited. Obviously, we're also gonna yap and not just rank them. Of course. We love to talk, you know this. But yeah, we have, this time it's a deluxe edition because usually we only do like 15 and this time it's 20. So we have some extra, but also some are repeats that might have appeared in previous tier lists before, but we thought for a holistic look at the romance tropes that are common, let's just include the classics again, even if we already talked about them.
I love the holistic approach, it's important to look at it from all angles.
Yeah, also important to look at it from the angle of you, a lover, and me, a hater, so we have a very balanced view here.
Alright, so as always, each of the tropes is here twice. Yellow for me, and purple, dark blue, purple for...
dark blue.
For duck number 2. So that we can both each give our
For
own...
duck number 1.
For duck number 1.
You're like, one is for me and one is for duck number 2.
So that you can see like the difference between each of us and how we each rank the tropes. So the categories are the same like last time, right?
Yes. These are repeated every time.
I love that's my favorite category.
I just love the neutral smiley. It just communicates so much with so little.
It adds a lot, yeah. Alright, so how do we want to start? Just from the beginning, what we can see, or do we want to pick again?
We can do whatever strikes your fancy. We don't have to go in order. We can just pick one that speaks to you immediately.
Okay, so it's my first pick. Let's go for... I feel like something that's not controversial for us, just to sink into this easy. I'm gonna go for Insta Love.
Okay.
What is your take?
Insta Love.
Yeah, what is your take on that?
My take on Insta Love is... no.
I'm not surprised.
I was about to say I don't like it, but that's the other tier that's like, I don't like it, but I don't dislike it. This is, I don't like it. I don't get it. I don't like it. It does nothing for me. It feels like a cheap plot device. It's not interesting. I don't understand why characters would lay down their life for someone they barely know just because they're hot. It does not compute for me. So I am on the no-go side of that.
Yeah. It's the same for me. I was thinking about going Kill Me, but I'm not like in agony if it happens, and it's not a like breaker of story for me, right? Kill Me would be sort of, okay, I can't continue with this. Yeah. So it's a no for me. Specifically because Insta Love is even worse. Like, Insta Attraction, fine, whatever. But Insta Love? No.
Yeah.
No.
It's... The thing is, right, this kind of relates to, like, soulmates and stuff, but I feel like even then... That's why I don't think I've ever seen soulmates in, like, original fiction that I've cared for as a trope. I think it's more defensible to me in fanfic where I know that these characters would have things in common and a relationship even without this part, where it's like, okay, I already know they work together, so this doesn't bother me as much. But in original fiction, I'm like, dude, make an effort. What is this? I don't want this.
Yeah. No, I can understand. I can understand. That's why I said, it's an easy start for us.
Yeah. All right. This comes from you, so I'm interested.
Ooh.
Secret royalty. It was the thing you gave me was secret royalty / celebrity, but that didn't fit on the thing. So
it's a bit much.
But it can be both.
Yeah. So to preface this, we, or at least I don't know how you did it. I just went on. I was like, romance tropes. I googled it. I looked at different lists on Reddit and blogs and anything. And this was one that was there a lot of times. And I think it goes along with the secret identity sort of love trope, with the addition to it that it implies that the person is like in a higher standing than the other person. Usually it's the secret royalty, but they pretend to be someone else, blah blah.
Yeah, the Hannah Montana-ness of it all.
Yeah, you could call it that. And it really depends on how it's executed. If it's done well, it's like a good even for me, because I kind of like it. But if it's not done well, it can become an ick so fucking fast. But I am a sucker for this kind of stuff, so I'm gonna go with it's neat for secret royalty.
It's neat.
It's neat.
Okay.
It's
neat. Okay. I will preface this. I don't really have strong opinions on this. I think the thing where it becomes either interesting or annoying is the differentiation between, do we have this as our POV character or not?
Yeah.
Because I do think there is something more interesting if you have it as the POV character, because most of the time when it's the love interest, the reader already knows. Like, it's we
obvious,
know how books work, we know how tropes work, but then the main character takes like forever to catch up to what the reader already knows from the beginning. So that's not really, that grinds my gears, because I'm like, okay, we already know that. Can we not? Do we have to? Because a lot of the time the drama isn't even good.
Yeah, there's satisfaction in being able to be like, oh, already tells like, oh, your secret royalty, But if it gets too drawn out, or the main character is made like dumb on purpose just so they don't notice this plot point, it's really annoying. I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, so since I don't feel very strongly it's going in I didn't put this on in here because I felt like, okay, secret identity is the same, but what I really like is what on AO3 has the tag identity porn, which usually involves both people in the equation having secret identities. Like, typically, like, easy thing is like superheroes, two superheroes or whatever, who both have like a civilian and a superhero identity, or like superheroes and super whatever, like in that kind of vibe. Miraculous Ladybug is doing that.
I was about to say
the entire show basically. So I think that is a lot more fun, because they're both characters have something to lose or gain, and have to balance, oh no, I have a secret and all that. But yeah, I didn't want to put two, secret identity things on here. Yeah. So,
but no, I get
but
that.
I like that one much more. I think that one is also way funnier, because two people are engaging in silly shenanigans to hide their identities.
Yeah, it's especially fun if like the alternative, like if it's a superhero story, if the two like superhero personas are so different, like their relationship opposed to the non-superhero relationship. That's always something I greatly enjoy as well.
That's always really funny. It is very tasty.
It is. Oh right, it's my turn.
Yeah, it's your turn.
Haha. It's glaring at me, so I just gotta pick it. What's your thoughts on the mafia boss trope?
Okay, it's over here.
Yeah.
So the mafia boss. Ooh, beautiful checker pattern. So so of course, since this is a thing we say to each other all the time, this is very much immediately brings to mind 365 days.
You guys, you do not know how many times we go, "Are you lost, baby girl?" Like,
it's a classic. We can't.
It's a sad vocabulary.
Never forget. It's so funny, and I will honestly say, because I'm not really a romance reader, most romance I engage with is like a subgenre, if that important in a story at all.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think I meet a mafia boss romance basically at all.
Okay, yeah.
Although it's also the question, right? The idea of the mafia boss romance does come with a number of tropes and ideas, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, like, okay, are we talking this, or are we just talking fucking someone who is in the position who would be a mafia boss? Like, are Enish and Cass a mafia boss romance, even though he is leading his own gang? You know what I mean?
Honestly, kinda yes, I guess. I mean, looking at Cass, yeah. Oh my god. Breaking news, Six of Crows, right? Mafia boss romance.
Six of Crows. So, right, it's also, I'm a little torn, because my association with mafia boss romance is so silly. Like, again, 365.
Yeah.
Unserious. Deeply unserious. But also, you know me. I love men who suck. So, technically, it could be appealing to me. But I don't really meet it, so I think I'm also gonna put this in, it's whatever.
I'm on a similar, like, vibe as you are in this. Mafia boss, I immediately see Massimo in front of my eyes. This dude. I have come across the trope a lot of times in fan fiction, and I have to say, even there I don't really enjoy it. Because it's usually about, oh, we're just so cool, and it's never about the actual, like, the implications that come along with it, right? The kind of fucked up shit that happens there. And I was never big into the, oh, I can change him, or, oh, he's different for me, so I have to go with don't like it for Mafia Boss. It's not even it's a I don't like it.
Yeah, like, I don't like it. That's fair, I suppose. Of course, all the 365 Days fans in our audience are agog and aghast, and we will be cancelled for this, but we have to stand our ground.
Will Massimo fall in love at last? Okay.
Okay, since we have talked about this, and I know your opinion, but I think we should get it out of the way. The accidental pregnancy.
Oh, okay. So the thing is, we have two different ones, right? We have epilogue pregnancy and we have accidental pregnancy.
Yes.
I think for me, the accidental pregnancy thing, depending on the story, would be a no, not a kill me. But I'm torn. The thing is, pregnancy is something that is, it happens. It happens to women. It's part of the human story, right?
No.
And if a story handles pregnancy well, I am very interested in reading that, and I am very interested in reading about, like, actual interesting and, like, complex thoughts on being a mother, instead of just going, oh, I want that baby juice inside of me, right? Because if that happens in a story, I'm like, oh god, no, take it away. That being said, a lot of times an accidental pregnancy in romances is just like a plot device. And I'm like, we cannot use a child as a plot device like this. It feels so weird and wrong to narrow down this very big thing to, oh no, oopsie, slipped on a dick, you know? So for me, it's not a kill me, but it's definitely a no. Just for the fact that it gets handled so distastefully so many times.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, for me, it's definitely a kill me.
Yeah.
It's not even necessarily about the handling. It's also just, I think let me put it this way. I don't think, unless a story is specifically about abortion, there is never a chance that if an accidental pregnancy happens in any kind of romantic context, that it's ever on the table. Yeah. There will never be the situation where two characters say, oh, we love each other, but we're going to choose not to have this baby. It doesn't happen. So this just feels like you're springing a baby on me. I don't... that sucks. I don't...
yeah, right? It's used just, as a plot device to...
I find it off-putting because it's also like it feels, to me, besides all the other stuff, it feels like a pantomime of choice because it'll never end with an abortion unless specifically the story is like, this is a story about getting an abortion and being pro-abortion. You know what I mean? I don't think it would happen. As someone who's extremely pro-abortion, I'm like, I don't like this. I don't like this. It's very annoying to me. It always feels... It feels like every time it happens, it's like, no, you should keep the baby, because babies are such a blessing, and even if you don't expect them, you should keep it, because they're so cute, and you'll be so happy. And we're not even gonna really go into all the horrific stuff that pregnancy can and does often entail. We're just gonna be happy that there's a baby, and the true conflict is, did the other person want the baby, and not, is this financially smart, does this fit into your life plan, anything like that. It's never about that. So I hate this. I hate this so much.
Yeah, it's really hard. It's not a deal breaker for me in terms of, oh man, I don't really know if I want to continue reading this. But yeah, for everything you said, it's a lot of times it's not handled well. And I feel especially in stories that are not like contemporary romance, but you know, in like more medieval kind of sort of fantasy, right? Where they don't drink the ominous anti-baby brew before they have sex, right? They're even more. The horrors of having to birth a child in that sort of environment, health and medicine-wise, it doesn't really get addressed.
Right.
A lot of times. Mostly it's like, oh, well, thank God, I hope the heir will be healthy. And I'm like, huh? Okay.
Hello? Yeah. Exactly. No, very much so. I mean, it's not on this list because we had too much pregnancy-related stuff, but on this list is also like magical pregnancies. Oh my God, get me away from magical fetuses. The fact that I have had to read this without knowing it would be in there in several books is like,
do you have...
I don't want your fetus having, like, in 2 fucking books, the same dynamic applied, that there were people who had magic, who became pregnant. They didn't know they were pregnant yet, but because the fetus also was magical, it increased their magical abilities in ways that then affected how the story went, and I fucking hated it every Get that fucking fetus away from me. Abort that thing. I don't care if it's convenient. Kill I don't want this in here.
What?
Oh my God. I hate this.
What?
Yes. Yes.
I was about to ask, what do you mean with the magical fetus? Because I could only think of Twilight, and they actually liked the way that the fetus sucks the life out of her, right?
Twilight is...
So
yeah, it's in Twilight. It's like, yeah, that baby sucks ass, but she still wants to keep it, and everyone else is like, you should really abort. And she's like, no, I love my horrible child, and people are allowed to make that choice, but at least the pregnancy was horrific. So
yes,
props for that.
Okay. So since we are on the topic of pregnancy, I feel like it's just fair to go with the epilogue pregnancy / children. What is your...
Yeah, this also goes here. I just... Again, there is not one version of this that I have ever read that I liked. There has been many times where an epilogue introduced people having children or being pregnant where you're just like, I don't think these people should have kids. I don't think these people should have kids or should have kids this soon or with these people. A lot of it is like reaffirming a relationship that usually concerned teenagers in like their first big love where you're like, maybe it's bad to imply that the first guy you have sex with has to be the guy you marry and have children with later on. I think that's bad, and I think that's really annoying.
Yeah.
It's like, just let your story end where it ends. This feels... It's not only do I hate children, however, I also hate this insistence of authors to control what happens to characters after the story is done, like putting in this epilogue that is like, oh yeah, and then 10 years later, here's exactly what these people are doing. You're not allowed to imagine something. No, here are the facts on what is happening. And I'm like, no, I don't want this. I don't like this. I have never enjoyed this.
Yeah.
I've never seen this in a way that I enjoy.
So, for me, it is also a kill me. For the simple fact that... So, I mean, it can't be a deal breaker for a book, right? Because the book is over. It just leaves a very bad taste.
It could be a series where, like, the next book is then about the kids, maybe, even.
Oh, that is true. That is true. But then I wouldn't be bothered anymore, because in the next book I'm like, okay, it's the kid, whatever. That doesn't bother me. But it's like everything you just said. And it feels like a slap in the face. The only instance where I wasn't mad about it, the very only instance, was the Hunger Games series. Because Katniss, at a couple of points, is like, I wouldn't want to put children into the world it is right now. Would be nice, though, but not in the world it is right now. So at least I felt like, at a couple of instances, the world child was sprinkled into this without mentioning that they also kill each other, right? But in any other iteration I have seen so far, I hated it as well. Because it usually also comes so, like completely unexpected. These are characters who never at any point talk about wanting to settle down or have a family. Because as soon as a character's like, I'd love to settle down and have a family, I'm like, okay, it kind of fits them having children in an epilogue, right? But in any of these stories, that's never the thing that's being mentioned. It's never said that they want to go home and have a happy life or anything like that, and have a peaceful life. Usually it's just like, by the way, this person now has a child. If you need a child for a sequel for the rest of the series, do the thing the Edge Chronicles do, except for Whitwick. Get the children in between the books and be like, oh, by the way, this is a child. Genius move. You don't need to have any of the weird, by the way, they have a child. The child is here, the child is grown, ready to be the new protagonist. Great.
Yeah.
We don't need the epilogue.
I always feel like it's such a weird way to end a story, especially if that story was not about having children. Like, if you write a story about people who are having children and then you have a flash forward where, like, oh, you see the children more grown or whatever, it's like, okay, that makes sense. But in most stories, this is not the case. Most stories are not about that. I don't want to see that. Keep it away from me. Keep your breeding kink out of my book.
To me, it's just so immersion breaking, which is so dumb, because I read books about dragons and all kinds of shit, and then it's immersion breaking for me. Somebody has a child. I know how ridiculous this sounds, right? But if you put everything into a nice, neat little row, then yeah, it does seem out of order to kick a child in there.
It needs to be remarked. Even in those stories that do have dragons, I don't want the dragons to be pregnant in the epilogue either. Listen, okay, I don't want that either. I don't need that in my life. Just leave it out. I don't care.
I genuinely do not know if at any point in Fourth Wing, like in the series, the dragons get pregnant or lay eggs. That would be weird. Imagine you have this, like, mind connection with your dragon, right? And then the dragon starts to be pregnant and lay an egg. And you're like, oh my god, this is so weird. And like, as a woman or as somebody with a uterus, you'd be like, okay, that's something I can see for myself in the future. But imagine you are a male, like, presenting and identifying dragon rider, and suddenly you have a female dragon in your head that's like, ooh, my egg. I feel like that'd be interesting.
It's educational.
maybe by that point the teenage boys in a Dragon Rider Academy will finally figure out what a period is. Even though they won't, because dragons are reptiles and don't have periods like that.
I was about to say it would be really funny if, like, the dragon situation was like with chickens, you know? It's like every day an egg and you can make your dragon omelet, because, like, when they don't have sex, it's just, you know.
They just get more power from eating the dragon egg. You know, it's like, you just gotta go and crack it open, make your gigantic rooster omelet, and then it's... Anyways, pick the next trope, let's go.
Okay, next one. One I think you do like is the bodyguard employer one.
Top tier. Put it up there. Go. I love this shit so much. It's one of my favorite, I put it in top tier. It's one of my favorite dynamics because it implies so much, right? The one person has the power, but the other person is actually one protecting the other person, and it's like this back and forth, and I just really like it. I'm sorry. It's a thing I like. What can I say?
No, that's fair. I also think it's good. It's not quite top tier for me, but I agree. There's a good dynamic there, and it also comes with the idea of like, oh, are they just protecting me because it's their job? Do they like me? And obviously for the other person, do they just keep me around because I'm useful and good at my job? Or do they keep me around because they like me? Many fun things.
Many good avenues.
Consider.
Yeah.
Good yearning potential.
It's so fun, and you can put them into so many situations as well. It's just
right. And on your medieval binge, you can do that with knights too. You can have your fun little knights.
My first thought was Arthur and Merlin. Even though Merlin is even like a secret bodyguard, if you think about it, right? Because Arthur doesn't know that Merlin is bodyguarding this man from the first episode. So
no, for Arthur, it's just like, this is my emotional support weirdo. I bring him along everywhere. I don't know why.
And Merlin's like,
he's fun.
Oh my god.
It's so funny.
So that was my first thought when I saw that. I was like, oh yeah.
No, that's fair.
All right. How do we have here? Let's go with, and they were roommates.
And they were roommates. Oh.
Take it back. It's not getting better.
No, it's somewhere else. Okay. I'm just gonna keep it here. Whatever. They were roommates. I'll have to think a little. I gotta talk my way through this.
Yeah.
Because I do think there is potential there. But on the other hand, I am not big on friends to lovers. I'm not really interested in a setup where it's like, oh, we've been roommates for forever and now, there's more. So I do think it can be fun, but only with caveats. It's, I mean, in some ways it is adjacent to the forced proximity one we also have, where it's like, well, usually you're not in a position to just up and move out.
Yeah.
So you are stuck with this person, and it's very domestic also. So you have to deal with a lot of things you usually wouldn't have. But yeah.
I was about to say, it's kind of like a midpoint of different tropes that you can find. For me, it's neat. I do like a they were roommates trope. I like the fact that, well, yeah, there's forced proximity as well. But I like the fact that it's like the coziness of having the shared home, in just the unfiltered, because you also see parts where you're like, oh, that's kind of low-key disgusting. This person lives like this, and it forms a less cultivated picture and a more just raw, this is this person, by the way. If you want to like them.
Yeah, you see someone's insane breakfast habits and you go, oh my god, he's fucking crazy.
Oh, and I like
It
them.
happens to me every time I see my brother eat breakfast. I'm like, what are you doing, man?
That's why I was so fascinated the last time I saw him make his lunch. I was like, oh my god, I'm seeing the legend happening right in front of me. It's the first time I'm seeing this dish.
And you were like, wait, he does keep going and going. Didn't he already eat like 500 grams of yogurt with fruit and now there's more? And it's like, yeah, there's more and more and more.
It was like a little concoction. He's like, oh, I should add apple juice. I'm like, apple juice? Anyways. But yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I specifically like about the roommate part. I also, side note, I really like the trope where they bring someone else into the flat, because there's the misunderstanding of not liking, and it's like, that's very, that's something I really like.
There are tasty aspects to it. Very true.
Yeah.
Very true. Well, let's hear your thoughts on Touch Them and Die.
Ooh, you know who you can also kill? Me. Fucking trope. I hate it. I know this is not a controversial opinion for me. I feel like it's just, I hate it. I hate it so much. In terms of romance tropes, I love a little bit of an obsessive, possessive sort of relationship. I think it adds a nice little sprinkle, but the touch them and die, it gives me such a, I want to puke. When I read that, I'm like, no, I have not come across a singular story where I was like, ooh, I like this. I have to be honest, because it usually, they are never both crazy. It's always one person is like, oh, I'm such a gentle little flower. And then the other person's like, oh, touch them and die. And that is something I fucking hate. If they were both this way, and both unhinged, I'd be like, okay, maybe. But as soon as I read that sentence, the touch them and I'll kill you, touch them and blah, unless it's a super stressful situation, no. Especially if it's sort of more contemporary, I puke.
See, the thing is, the statement itself is fucking cringe.
Yeah.
The concept itself, I can see working.
Yeah,
I'm just thinking,
right.
NBC Hannibal, right? There are two insane bitches who both behave like this.
Yeah.
So, there it works. But I also, if one of them said something along these lines, I would be embarrassed. This is cringe. You cannot say this.
It's the
You cannot say this.
It's the implication. It's the person needs to walk in, right? Walk in and be like, I'm just gonna kill you all, I'm just gonna do that. But if somebody goes, touch him, and I'll kill... No.
It feels so pathetic and overcompensating.
Yeah.
If you imagine a real person saying it, but also I cannot read it and not think, oh, this was written by a 13-year-old on Wattpad.
Right.
You know?
Right.
I understand, like, the sentiment can be sexy.
Oh,
Again,
yes.
I think it can be super fun. I love men who are insane, okay? I think that can be very charming. But if they have to come out and say this to someone while the person they're talking about is present, that is the most cringe setup I can imagine, and I am not having a good time.
Like guys, I put bodyguard / employer as top tier, okay? This is the kind of shit I like, but as soon as you said it, as soon as that verbatim touch them and die thing happens, no. Not even a bodyguard employer situation can save that for me.
It's truly just like cringe. There's no other way to say this. Yeah. This makes me cringe.
It's kringeling me, yeah.
It truly, I just look at that, and if I hear this or like read this attributed to an adult person saying this, I'm just like, wow, okay, I don't even know where to start. Yeah. What are you, 5? What is this? Who says that? It is such a juvenile thing to write. It makes me crazy. Can you imagine? No.
If I was like a mafia boss evil man, right? And a 17-year-old comes in and is like, touch them or you'll die. I'd be like, aw, that's kind of cute. Puppy love, look at them. If a 25, 30-year-old man comes in and goes, touch her and you'll die, I'd be like, oh my god, bro. Like, I don't know, go to some fragile masculinity counseling or something. Like, even my goons do this better than you. Like,
right, it's like, listen, you can say something like, keep your hands off of her or whatever. Already so much less cringe. Yeah. Leaves a bit of room to imagine what kind of scary things you'll do should someone do it. But being like, if you touch her, I'll kill you, I'll be like, oh my god, are you a dog who just got a new toy? What is this behavior?
It's not. It's a simple, you'll regret this. It's like, oh, okay, queen. But no.
Right? Or something like, oh, you better think twice. Anything. This is too direct. It's too childish. It's
right. No.
Actually, yeah, just I have talked myself into a strong no. It's gotten more embarrassing the longer.
Because oh my god, imagine how embarrassing it would be if you don't manage to kill them. Right? Like, you managed to beat them up quite good. Okay, that's great, but you told them you'd kill them. Like, how embarrassing. And you said this in front of your girl? Nah.
Right? It's
sorry.
The statement alone is already humiliating. Can you also, even if you are like, oh, I love my bad boy, mafia boss boyfriend, but you're in the room and he's like, touch her and you'll die, I'd be like, girl, stop! I'm embarrassed to be here with you.
Take me with you, don't let this man touch me, please.
I'd be like, oh, I'm reevaluating how much I think he's hot, but it's not. The situation has changed.
Yeah, no, it's crazy how, like, what a reaction just one sentence can get out of you. But yeah, here we are. Okay.
I think anything that's like, oh, I'll kill you for this feels cringe to me. It's like, girl, stop.
Okay.
You can't be saying this.
Let's go for something where... I don't know how you feel about this, so I am interested on your opinion on arranged marriage.
Arranged marriage. It's over here. I do think it's fun. I'm considering how fun I find it.
Okay, yeah.
Because I would say I am positively inclined. I do think that is a fun setup. Because again, it brings people together who might not choose to be together, but then they'll have to make it work. And you go into the situation and go, okay, how will they make it work? Right? And I think as a trope itself, it's pretty I would say it's a yeah. I think it's pretty solid. However, it really hangs on the execution. Like, I really like the concept. Mm-hmm. However, I mean, classic arranged marriage in Bride didn't really do anything for me, right?
Well, but that's because a lot of things in Bride didn't do it for you, so I feel like you can't.
Everything. Nothing in Bride did it for me, frankly. They didn't even kill Misery. What the fuck?
You can't blame it on the arranged marriage. It's like, it's the first step, but there were a lot of steps that went wrong. Yeah.
That's true. So, let's put it like this. It works as advertising to me. If you have a story and you're like, that's an arranged marriage, I'm like, okay, I'm listening. The rest of the pitch still has to convince me, but I'm like, okay, this works in its favor.
Yeah. So, I'm gonna go with, it's neat. I share the same concerns, like you do when it comes to it. Because a lot of times I feel arranged marriage is connected to like insta lust, where it's like, okay, they're like arranged marriage and they see each other and they're like, oh, it's not so bad. Like all the previous reservations they had as soon as they see each other, like, oh, actually, it's not that bad. Clothes away. I'm gonna rail you till the sun comes up again.
Yeah.
And if it's done well, it's neat. In the same way it's like They Were Roommates is neat for me. So. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well then, I guess we could work through the ones we've already talked about. Friends to Lovers, quick round.
You know where that goes. It's top tier for me. It's one of my favorite things. We have talked about this before. We have talked about to this, shortly recap my thoughts. Friends to Lovers is something I like if it's an organic development of the relationship, and it doesn't feel like, oh, like lovers is even more, and the friendship wasn't valid until they became lovers. I like it when you have two characters and their relationship to each other is already so loving and so full of everything that they just look at each other and go, actually, you know what? Yeah, this is nice. That's a Friends to Lovers I absolutely love. And I personally prefer like this common base of love and understanding and feeling safe and cozy to be preferable to another trope we see down there when it comes to one of the ex to lovers tropes. Yeah.
Yeah. That's fair, and this is I feel like this also relates a lot to how people view romance in their real life. For context, I'm Arrow Ace, so to me, there is literally no way you can write this that doesn't feel like what you described at the beginning. Yeah. I don't think you can write Friends to Lovers in a way that to me doesn't scream, oh, we weren't complete until we added the romance part, which always feels very invalidating to the friends part. Yeah. And also, there's nothing less horrific in a friendship I can imagine. Well, that's maybe a little hyperbolic, but your friend being in love with you, because a lot of these things are often it's one of them or both of them have been having romantic feelings for a while. So it's just the whole concept of oh, your friend was in love with you for years, maybe even, and while you were friends and they never said anything. Awful.
So I'll sell the wedding rings then. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, well, we can get married for tax benefits,
right, but, right. No, I get what you mean. I feel like this is a horror story, especially for women or female presenting people, where it's it happens quite a lot of times that you think you're having a genuine friendship, and then as soon as you enter a relationship with someone else, or you, for whatever other reason, become unavailable, quote unquote, to the relationship market, these friendships suddenly break apart. Not because you spend naturally less time with your friends, because now you have a partner and they also take up time, but because these men, usually men, look at you and go, oh, that one isn't available anymore, huh? And then suddenly this quote unquote friendship breaks apart,
right?
Because you are not, available anymore. So I see how that could be an actual horror story to you. That happens quite often, actually.
It's just yeah. And like even without that, it also, like, because there isn't really a way to have a friendship after that comes out that is the same as it was before. So it, like, even if the person is perfectly respectful and doesn't try to make it weird, there isn't really a way to turn someone down and then go back to the same kind of friendship you had, because unfortunately it does color everything else that happens there. So yeah, I don't like, I also think it's boring. I'm very sorry, but like, since again, like, in my real life I don't experience romance, it doesn't interest me. I do not get it. So if I'm going to read about this, these bitches better be crazy. I need these people to be insane and do insane things. Otherwise I'm not interested. But it's boring. I just don't find it compelling.
That's completely fine. It's completely fine. But yeah, this is one of those instances where, as you said, it depends so much on where you start with your own perspective and how you go.
Yeah.
Which is actually kind of nice. I like that we have the different views in there. All right. Yeah. So because we also had this, and it's the I'd say perfect counterpart to this. Your thoughts on enemies to lovers.
My beautiful enemies to lovers. That is done so dirty by so many people who can't write it. They don't get it.
Yeah, a lot of times it's rivals to lovers, actually.
This feels like the same way with, like, they were roommates or arranged marriage, often, where I'm like, you don't get the part that's good about it. And then in the story it ends up less than, what the trope could be. It's like, oh, you're selling me this as an enemies to lovers, and I, as a lover of the trope, am now having to become enemies with you because you executed it awfully.
So what? Okay, when you say that the people don't get what's juicy about the trope, what do you mean? What is juicy about the trope for you?
The things that are juicy about the trope is that it should involve two people who on some level respect each other, but are also ideologically opposed. It's not necessarily, because I feel like that happens a lot where people are trying to make it a personal beef, which I think often is obviously present in people who have very different ideological, opinions. However, it's about their worldviews clashing, and also they need to, on some level, have done some bad shit to either each other or, like, each other's sides. Like, there needs to be genuine beef. These people need to, on some level, respect the other person, and they need to slowly be either forced to work together or rely on each other so that a trust of some level can form. And then it's important that it goes very slow. This has to be a slow burn. And it cannot be about physical attraction only. You cannot sell me an enemies to lover and go, oh, I'm a minority and he's committing genocide, but he has dimples when he smiles and also he's ripped.
Yeah, no,
this is not a reference to any actual book or anything. No.
Purely coincidental.
Totally unrelated to anything we've read or talked about.
No, I totally get what you mean, because in no possible land could I, maybe I'm just not horny enough, right? But in no possible, like, constellation could I imagine looking at a person that is this, like, morally, politically, like, just spiritually unaligned with me and be like, oh, but they're still kind of odd. Huh? No. That.
Yeah. Right? It's the thing is that also, I think enemies is such a loaded word. It really only works in a speculative setting. You can't put this into a modern setting, because someone who in a real life or real life adjacent setting is bad enough to be considered an enemy, I would also say is bad enough to be considered categorically unfuckable, basically forever.
Yeah. Unless it's a dark romance, you know. But then again, it's not like a
that's I feel like is also a little different,
right? Yeah.
But yeah, no, enemies to lovers, it can be so beautifully tasty. And the straights don't get it. Like, listen, one of my favorite books ever, This Is How You Lose the Time War. It is so juicy. It is so fucking good. Incredible. Enemies to lovers, beautiful. Mwah. But then also, From Blood and Ash, The Bridge Kingdom, fucking powerless. You cannot market these to me on the stage. It's betrayal. My beautiful trope is being massacred. You don't get it. I suffer, okay? Every day, I suffer.
So, for me, I don't know. Either it's neat or... But like, it can be very neat. It can be so neat for the things you just said, right? But... again, most of the times, it's not done that way, and I've been burnt. Okay? I've been burnt.
Oh, yeah.
And at this point, I'd rather just not read it. Honest to God, at this point, I'd rather just not read it.
That's fair.
Because I don't, you know... I love it. Listen, in fan fiction, when people understand the characters, right? I'm all for it. But in terms of fiction I've read, like traditionally published fiction I've read, take that away from me. It's just not. It's that's why we go with an. In fact, fan fiction it'd be way up high. The rest it'd be low. So I feel like is the middle field.
I was about to say, there are also original fiction ones I've read that I really liked, but most of them have been gay. So I think the straights just don't get it. Yeah. I think the straights and the straights marketing department, they don't get it. They're too horny. They're too straightforwardly horny.
Again, I don't know.
It doesn't work like that.
I don't know whether I'm just not horny enough, right? Whether it's because I don't look at people and go, oh, I'd like to rail that person. Ride them into the sunset. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why I'll never understand. But, yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe you have to also be into hate fucking if, this execution of enemies to lovers works for you.
Yeah.
You have to like the idea of sleeping with someone you actually don't like just because they're hot. And that somehow
could never be me,
intensifies, improves the experience.
That's true.
Which I also don't get. Because the last thing I would want in any of my personal or private space is someone I don't like or trust.
Right?
Right? Like, I don't want this bitch in my house or in my bed. Fuck off.
What the hell are you doing in my house? Okay. Continuing on from there, I myself am not really sure, so I'm interested on your thoughts. Would be the Cinderella story.
Ooh, so I think it's because there's nothing wrong with the Cinderella story. I generally, I have said this before, I like fairy tales, I like retellings, I like when people take like an old story or old formula and try to do something new and interesting with it, but also often, it's just not interesting, is my problem.
Yeah.
Like, when I see it, I just go, wow, Cinderella is one of the least interesting, like, things you could put into a real, like, love story. Like, there are interesting aspects to the original fairy tale and the different versions that exist, absolutely. However, especially if it's how would I say, a stealth Cinderella story where you can see the beats of it in it, but it's not literally doing a fairy tale thing. You know what I mean? Then I just don't think it has that much to offer. I think it's just kind of like, I mean, it's fine if it's there, I guess, but also I do not care.
Yeah, no, I can see it. I can see it. It got back to my mind, which is why I put it on the list. Because of this is very timed again, because of the current Bridgerton season, which this season does involve Cinderella story. It's basically is a Cinderella story, and I have conflicted feelings about this because I actually genuinely like it. It's an easy story, it's an easy premise. You know what you're gonna get. You have the thrill of a little bit of, like secret identity porn and the rooting for an underdog, right? And I feel like the Cinderella story really hinges on the quality of the love interest, like.
Oh, yeah.
The other person, because it's very easy to sympathize with the Cinderella in this situation, but the other person, how they behave, makes or breaks a Cinderella story.
Yeah.
I remember when I read the book, the Bridgerton book, is it book 3 or 4? The one with Benedict, I was not amused because I hated Benedict. As a male love interest, and while the Cinderella story was well laid out for the love interest for Sophie, it was not fun if you considered who the male person was in this relationship, and in the show I hope they do it a little bit better. But yeah, I think I'm also gonna go with an I don't really. It's neat, because sometimes they also do this weird stuff where it's like, no, it's neat.
I think it's also Cinderella is one of those unfortunate recipients of a lot of bad adaptation in very recent memory. Like there was this Amazon Cinderella with Camila Cabello, which was awful.
I don't even remember dog shit.
I watched it with a friend because we were like, this is gonna be so bad. Oh yeah, let's watch something bad. We were in pain in a bad way. It was like, this wasn't worth it. We thought it would be funnier. It was just bad.
Yeah.
So, but I think it also, you can, technically it's a simple story, but you can fuck it up really hard,
right?
If you with the love interest, as you've said, but also on the domestic abuse and disempowerment angle, because Cinderella is fundamentally about an incredibly disempowered woman who, through good deeds, receives the chance to escape that horrible life. You cannot then enter a girl boss angle where actually she has so many skills and so many options and she doesn't need a prince to save her, because then it opens the box of questions of, why is she staying in that horribly abusive environment if she actually can just leave without outside help, right? So it's like, technically it's simple, but there's so much that gets misinterpreted or like badly done in adaptations that it's like, well, it's just kind of tiring. Like, I think the problem is also that it's just everywhere. You cannot, the Cinderella, get a different fairy tale, I beg you. There are so many. Just adapt a different one.
Yeah.
There are so many. Also, don't do Beauty and the Beast. That's also overdone. Just get a new one. Oh my god, get one new fairy tale.
We are not limited to Disney fairy tales, you can pick other ones. Yeah, I think
the thing is,
what you
do, like, these two are overexposed because of Disney, but also do not do Red Riding Hood, because that one is overexposed in literally everything else. I am actually surprised we never got a Disney Red Riding Hood, because otherwise, like, do a Sleeping Beauty instead. Whatever. No one remembers that movie. It came out in, like, what, the 60s or whatever? Do a Snow White. Do anything but a Cinderella, Beauty and the Beast, or Red Riding Hood. These are they're too prevalent. Pick a different one. There are thousands.
But wasn't Sleeping Beauty the one with Maleficent?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that was revamped through Maleficent then.
Yeah, but that one's like, the villain wasn't actually the villain one. I feel like it's also, it's not just Disney that did the live-action Cinderella. There were like 3 live-action Cinderellas in a row for like 3 years or whatever.
No.
And there were so many,
none will
like,
beat the one
Beauty and the Beast adaptations.
With that one beautiful blue dress. I forgot the actress's name, but we all know the one.
Yeah.
Where they just made her waist look so fucking tiny, because she herself was tiny, but then they also just did some garment construction, voodoo magic, and made it look even tinier. Yeah. What you said with the setting is something I think is also really important to this.
Yeah.
Keeping it in this setting, like they also did for Bridgerton, makes it work because of all the societal aspects and everything. Like, it's like she can't just leave work because the evil stepmother will then spread lies about her and she'll never get a job unless she kind of just sort of moves the country, right? Which she can't because she's poor. But as soon as you put it into what you said, badass girl moment, romantasy setting.
Yeah. It's also like, especially in more modern things, I'm just like, you have to work really hard to make this work, just because, especially, in Europe or even the US, like, an adult who does work and has these skills can just get a different job, and there are many resources you can actually go to and like receive if you are stuck in abusive situations. So unless you have to work really hard so it doesn't become comical or stupid.
Yeah.
Which is why I think it's not a great choice.
Yeah, and as soon as you do the work to not make it comical or stupid, it becomes like fucking depressing and sad, right? So
that too, and also then it's just like, well, there's a much more interesting story in a realistic approach. Then it's like, why are you even using the Cinderella skeleton? You don't need this. You can just tell a much more interesting story in different ways, right? So, yeah.
All right. Good talk.
Yeah. Good talk. Now, I mean, we also, I think, talked about this slow burn.
Top tier.
On the elevator.
Top tier on the elevator to the top. Yes. We talked about this so many times.
Yes, I agree.
It needs
slow burn is beautiful.
It needs to be natural. I need to be whenever I see a bad review for a book and somebody goes, the romance took so long, that's an instant for me. So yeah.
And it's another thing where I feel like marketing abuses the term, because I have seen many things marketed as slow burn that were not slow burn.
Yeah.
If you have a multi-part book series and you tell me it's slow burn, these people cannot be together by the end of the first book. Mm-hmm. That is not slow enough. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. That is at best a medium burn. It is not a slow burn. It needs to be slower. These people need to yearn, okay? They need to pine. I need a whole forest.
No, I agree. I was just thinking, what you said, I was just thinking about how I would feel about a single, like a standalone being described as a slow burn. I think it can be done if you include like time skips, and enough of that yearning, pining thing. Because usually if you have standalones, right, there's already like the spark from the beginning, which in slow burn, the spark is at most anything like sort of platonic, maybe, right? Where it's like, oh, that might be my person or something like this. Or in an enemies to lover situation where it's like, oh, okay, we'll do whatever.
They have fun banter even though they hate each other's guts right now. It's important.
Touch her and you die. But yeah, so Your face. So it can be done in a standalone. But I agree. If there's a series and people are like, "Oh my god, it's so slow burn," and then some people also, and that makes me go, "That's not no." Say, "Oh, it's a slow burn." And the character through the series goes through several partners, and I'm like, yeah, but the partner they end up with, that's the marketed slow burn, doesn't come in until book 3 or something, right? So it's
then that's not a slow burn.
Like, yeah, I mean, our main character exists for a while. They do be doing that in the series.
No, that other person needs to be there from the beginning. Yeah. Even if they are not a love interest, immediately they should be there.
Right?
Otherwise, if there is no interaction before, then that's not where the timeline for the burn starts.
Right.
Simple.
We need to... It's a slow cooker. This needs to take some time.
Yes.
You know? So, yeah.
We need to boil that frog slowly.
No. I remember one review that I saw for the Realmbreaker series was something along the lines of like, oh my god, at the end, it's like 3 books, and in the end they don't even actually kiss. Like, they do kiss, but we don't even get to like see it. And I was like, that was the fucking point! The point!
Like, that's what makes it hot. You people don't get it.
It's described how their shadows kiss, you know? So it's like, yeah, that's what I was here for. Sir, ma'am. So in that way, a bad review can also be very educational.
No, it can absolutely be. I remember reading like a gothic horror book, or like a modern book that is invoking the vibes of gothic horror, and like some of the bad reviews were like, wow, almost nothing happens for most of the book, and I'm like, yeah, that's it's part of the gothic horror. There's a lot of creepy, strange things, and you're uneasy the entire time, but actually not that much directly happens. Yeah, it's about being creepy.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, sometimes it really like, did you not understand what book you were picking? Like, do you not know what genres mean?
I think
it's really funny.
Yeah, I think genuinely that's something that is the case a lot of times. Especially with something that's sort of like with all the quote unquote like gothic horror movies coming out over the last couple of years, right? There's a certain expectations that people have to what gothic horror looks like, and then they jump over to the book medium and realize, oh, that's not the case.
It's a different medium. Here, there are different rules.
Yeah, exactly. No, exactly. Yeah. So I feel like that's a thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's getting less and less.
Yeah. The crowd is thinning.
The crowd is thinning. Hopefully, the crowd, are not thinning. Hopefully, you're still here. Okay.
I'm not wasting away. Don't worry.
So one thing I think you hate.
Ooh.
Is, I don't know, your thoughts on Second Chance?
Okay. I will have to ask what exactly you understand this to be.
Okay. So I actually looked this up because there were 2 like tropes that I thought were the same, Second Chance and a New Old Flame. And I had to look up, I was like, okay, what's the difference? And what I saw from Second Chance was basically they had their thing, and then they broke up, and then the romance has a second chance. So that's what I saw as a trope.
Okay.
Yeah.
And New Old Flame differs from this?
New Old Flame was not including that they had been together. New Old Flame could be...
Oh, they were into each other, but nothing had happened.
Yeah, that was one. So they could have had something happen, but New Old Flame also was counting for, like, especially in, like, network television, where somebody gets introduced, and then you're like, oh, are they gonna date? Are they not gonna date? And then there's, like, the flirting stuff going on, but then they disappear for 5 episodes until the actor gets hired again, so they come back and then they actually get together. So that was what they said was New Old Flame was. Mm-hmm. I thought this was Old Man Yaoi, New Old Flame, until I realized it's not. So, Second Chance.
Old man yaoi just means it's two old men fucking.
Because it was like,
have to do with new old flame?
Because it's like an old flame, but it's new.
But old flame means an old love, not an old man.
See, I was like, it's an older person love. I was like, are we gonna talk about old people love now? Because that's also a trope, like finding the right person later in life. Okay, so second chance.
Yeah, I don't really like this. I don't like it. No. I don't get the appeal.
Yeah. Me neither.
Especially because I feel like, I mean, not all of them, obviously, but I have seen, like, a number of second chance stuff that's, like, one of the partners did some really fucked up shit, and that's why they broke up, and then it's like, oh, but we can try again. I'm like, no. What are you doing?
Right.
Don't do that.
So for me, second chance is a no. It's not as bad as a mafia boss. But the for me, for exactly the reason that you said, second chance to me implies that there's like a genuine breakup somewhere in between, right? And then you have a second chance because you meet later in life or whatever. And conditions change, but I'm a petty bitch. Like,
yeah,
I could never.
Listen. I simply do not forgive and forget. I certainly don't forget, but I also often don't forgive. I'm like, no, I'm gonna hold my grudge at night and keep it warm. That's my little grudge. # my grudge. You know?
You'll be that old person on a deathbed that, clutches the hand away at the last moment of reconciliation because you're like, no, do you remember, like 50 years ago?
On my deathbed, I'll be like, yeah, I remember my art teacher from, like, 12th grade who gave me a bad grade just because she likes expressionism and I don't. And that's a real story, by the way. My art teacher in 12th grade was really into expressionism, and I still remember one time where, like, none of the instructions had anything to do with, like, what style we were supposed to draw, and she just looked at mine and went, like, oh, that looks nice, but that's not really what we want here. And I will never forget or forgive. I will remain mad for the rest of my life.
See? And that was, quote unquote, just your art teacher, okay? No, I'm not a forgive and forget person. Again, I'm not horny enough. I don't look at the person and go, you did something horrible, but those abs.
Like, the thing is, I can imagine in, like, a fictional setup that there could be a situation in which I'm like, okay, I can see how this could be juicy in a way, like, if Eli and Victor, like, rekindled a sort of relationship, I'd be like, okay, I'm listening. This is gonna be toxic shit, but, like, I'm here for it.
That's the thing. That's the thing. If it's like, if you go into it expecting it to be two characters who are toxic, have been toxic, will continue to be toxic, that's a different story. But in terms of, this is like a fun romance show, I feel like so many Hallmark movies do this, and so many like run-of-the-mill romance stuff does it, and I like so many rom-coms my friends and family watch, and I'm like, why?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, you know what? You convinced me.
No, keep it at
the longer we talk about it.
I don't.
No, the longer we talk about it, the more I'm like, yeah, this actually does put me off. Because I don't really see this a lot, because I just don't engage with media that has that stuff. Because I do feel this is a lot more present in, like, contemporary romance and stuff like that. And as you know, I don't watch a lot of stuff, and I mostly read fantasy, so this doesn't really come across my desk or whatever often. But, like, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, girl, no. Especially if it's like one partner cheated or did something like, you know what? No, fuck that guy. You should kill them. Yeah, that's way funnier. Do
that doesn't work in contemporary, so
it could.
No, I just feel bad because I also, quote unquote, like, talked you down the ladder for Touch Them and Die.
No, it's not quite you talking me down. It's more like the more we talk about it, when I hadn't made up my mind before, and I'm like, actually, yeah, I like this a lot less than I thought initially. Wait, yeah actually, this is bad.
It's not,
I don't like
it's not a deal breaker, but it does make me question the emotional intelligence of the person who's like supposed to be the main character.
I'm also like, I just feel bad for the main character then. Right. Then I'm like, I'm reading this and I'm like, this is not a happy story. This is a story where I'm like, I hope we get an epilogue where they are split up again, because I am not rooting for this relationship.
It feels like we are settling for something. And there's a couple of people, I've seen it on TikTok, but I've seen it everywhere, who are like, okay, this is my list of fictional couples who I don't think stayed together for even more than 2 months after the movie was finished. And I'm like, yeah, they all belong in there. It's seldomly handled with grace and actual talk about issues and problems and why the first time didn't turn out to work. And that just puts me off.
Yeah, it feels, I think this is also why a lot of contemporary romance doesn't really work for me, because it's like, it feels like such a fairy tale idea in such a setting that tries to evoke real life, where I'm just like, oh, this just feels like everyone involved is really stupid or not smart enough to understand how life works.
Yeah.
Because, right, going back to someone with whom you already had a breakup, I feel like unless you both or one of you has changed extremely fundamentally, it feels like a recipe for disaster. Who does that? That's a bad choice. That's a bad idea.
It's giving abusive cycle, it's
it's like you can't escape this. It's like, listen, it's like, you've already seen your dog behave like this just before it puked on your beautiful white couch. So next time you see it, you take that thing outside. You don't keep it in the living room so it has a chance to puke on your couch again.
Yeah.
You recognize patterns. It's important.
Yeah. I'm not talking about like problems in a relationship and then there's like a little bit of a like an unhappy phase or whatever. Like, genuinely, this is not a dig on anybody who has a second chance, actual real life relationship romance. Again, it can work out, and if it especially involves a lot of growth in one of the two parties or both, then that's great. That's great. Usually it doesn't. Especially, I'm just so tired of these straight romances where the woman is traumatized and then, the man supposedly worked on himself, but he still has all the quirky qualities, of a hot man.
Right.
Who's kind of funny. But he would never do that again to her. And that's somehow like, okay.
Because I also feel like this is not a gender neutral trope. This is not equal opportunity second chance. I feel like a lot of it is, this guy was an alcoholic, cheated on me, was a huge piece of shit, did that and that, or whatever. And it's usually the women who give the men another chance.
Yeah.
And in real life, this is also a gendered phenomenon, and it usually does not end well. And it leaves such a bad taste in my mouth. I understand everyone has different, wish fulfillment situation. I'm sure it can be fun to imagine a world in which men do change for the better, but all I'm seeing is, he learned to pretend until you're back together, and then he's gonna backslide into whatever asshole behavior he was showing before.
Yeah.
How often do you have, like, a crazy woman who did some fucked up shit, and they broke up, and then the man's like, okay, I'm giving you another chance.
Right.
That's not the classic setup. I don't think that's nearly as common or nearly as popular. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Well, that's settled then.
Well, alright. Let's talk about Only One Bed.
I love how you immediately put it into don't like it. Oh, for you?
What? No! It jumped. That was not on purpose.
You were like immediately,
I lost control.
The only one bed trope. You know.
I love that this gave you an accent for some reason.
It was the
Only one bed.
It was the SpongeBob narrator accent. It's either top tier or like a strong yeah for me. I love a one bed, especially if it does not end in intercourse. I love a one bed trope where they're just lying there and being like, oh, like each on their own sides.
You like a one bed where they end up cuddling. I know you.
Listen. Where they start cuddling in their sleep and they wake up and the next morning they're all cuddled up and they're like, oh my god, no, this happened.
And one of them pretends to still be asleep so they can cuddle a bit longer. I know.
Put it into top tier. Just put it up there. I love this thing. I love it.
I also like it, but I think for me it's just a need because I feel like percentage-wise, a majority of time this does happen, there is intercourse.
That is true. That is true. It's a porn without plot situation, usually. Yeah.
Yeah. And also, one of my very present memories is of Akamath and mostly the aftermath, where Raisen doesn't wash his hands afterwards, which is upsetting.
I'm sorry. I had to swallow my tea for a second. The fun... for a second, I was like, because you were like, Akamath, and then the aftermath, I was like, was that one I didn't read? I don't know, a fire to evoke romantic... I don't know, it's like aftermath. Yeah, no, I can...
No. That's not related to the trope, really. I can't not think about it and be disgusted once again. Adult man not washing his hands.
Again, he doesn't know how to, he just whisks it away.
But the essence of dirt remains.
He gets everybody pregnant just by touching, like, door handles with his dirty ass fingers. Don't die, please.
I don't like that.
It's the accidental pregnancy all over again. Yeah, no, but I feel like that's completely fine, because it implies, like, you can like a trope, right? And you can also not like a trope, because a previous instance has burned you so much that you're like,
no, I think that, because it's all vibes.
Yeah, no, it's fine, Okay, because I feel like this is, all sort of related. Let's go with forced proximity next.
Forced proximity. So the funny bit is we have had several tropes, right?
That relate to it.
Would fall under this umbrella, but I do actually like the umbrella much more than some of the aspects it can cover, because I think forced proximity can be so fun, especially also in a situation with people who are in like forced proximity where it's just like, oh, you have to live together, but where they have to achieve some sort of goal together, which requires working together and trust building and stuff like that, which I think is extremely tasty.
Oh, I see. No, I can get it. Because the subgenres are quite specific, right? I think like only one bed is quite specific, but forced proximity overall is...
Right, and arranged marriage is also one, but it's, the umbrella covers many different things.
Yeah. I'd say my forced proximity goes to because only one bed is very specific in the way it's laid out. And there's forced proximity I like more than just arranged marriage or just they were roommates for reasons that you just presented. So I feel like a nice little right,
because like forced proximity can also be like a fun thing where like they're both like next to each other in prison cells or whatever and have to work together to break out together, even though they hate each other.
So cool.
There's so many fun ways to play this that are not like living together or whatever.
There have been a couple of instances of forced proximity that just made me feel very unwell. I have to say, like anything that is, again, I'm not horny enough, anything that's based on a sort of sexual forced proximity just immediately makes me feel very queasy and uncomfortable. But that's like, I feel like a small part of forced proximity, and it actually goes more into the like dubious consent direction of tropes. So I feel forced proximity in the area is more than fun. Yeah.
Okay. Then let's talk. I'm curious because I'm not sure where you live. Let's talk unrequited love.
Listen, I love to suffer. And this one really depends on whether the main character is unrequitedly in love with someone or whether they are the subject of that love and they have to kind of handle how to, be like, actually, haha, you're so hot, but not like that. But I do like the if it's from the main character's perspective, I do like the suffering and the yearning, and especially if it's not just, oh, the other person doesn't love me, but there's like several steps to why the person wouldn't or couldn't love them. So I'm gonna say, it's not I would say it's neat.
It's nice. I also love drama, and I do also like a good suffering. But since now there's the question. Are we talking romance tropes as in the genre which always necessitates a happy ending in order to count as romance, or are we talking tropes around love and love stories and the happy end is optional?
I'd say I would say unrequited love is in its need for me if it's the second option. Okay.
And if it were the first, does that how does that change it?
If it's like the beginning of the story is that the main character is unrequited in love with someone, and then like 5 minutes into the start of the story they meet someone else, then I think it's okay. Then I don't really care for it because it feels more like a plot device. But if it turns out that, but then it's not unrequited love if it turns out the person did like them.
I mean, I think as a trope, it can also just describe that, like, the character thinks it's unrequited, and then eventually it does become an actual relation. I mean, you have also the idea of it's not literally mutually unrequited, but both characters are under the impression it is unrequited, and that misunderstanding gets solved by the end of the story.
I also do like that. I think that's also in its need. But if it's just like a stepping stone to get to another love interest, then I don't really care for it, I'd say. Yeah.
I think I am a bit torn because I do think I like it more if it's actually played as definitely unrequited. Because I do think that's a much stronger stance and a more interesting way to take the story. Because often, right, it's just like, oh, it seems unrequited, but then another character is like persuaded to give a chance or ends up falling in love with them anyway, so that the love doesn't stay. That the love doesn't stay unrequited the entire time. But I think if it is actually unrequited, I do think then that's really neat.
Yeah.
If it just gets solved by the end, I'm like, I mean, okay, then it's just a then I'm like, well, fine. It's a perfectly serviceable plot vehicle, but it's not that interesting.
I think the problem with like trying to unravel this and try to draw a line is that I feel like in any relationship, even like also like non-romantic or like non-sexual ones, there is always or nearly always a moment where you're unsure of whether or not the other person's feelings match your own. In friendships too, right? So it's sort of difficult to draw the line between this is an unrequited love trope and this is just this part of the story where the character isn't sure whether it's like reciprocated.
I think there's like a presence in the narrative, like how much the character thinks about it, and also I think a marketing thing.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
You can choose to draw the reader's attention specifically to this aspect of the story, and then depending on how much you execute it, people will be disappointed and be like, dude, that's not what was advertised. Fuck you. Or they'd be like, oh yeah.
So if there was like if it was marketed as an unrequited love and it's a normal love story, you know, where for some time the people don't know whether or not the other person is in love, especially in like the friends to lovers, when that moment starts where the person is like, oh, actually, I think I'm starting to fall in love.
Yeah.
I wouldn't market this as unrequited love because it's just normal, I guess. Because people don't simply talk about these strong feelings because they have like it has a consequence, right? So, but yeah, no, I love it when it's actually unrequited. It's very interesting to see characters deal with that. Usually also because a lot of like motivations for why they do something and how they do something hinges on the people around them and how they feel towards them. And it's sort of like, you know, a little goal, okay? Right? You know, oh, I'm gonna achieve this, and then this person whom I love or whom I wanna, you know, get into a relationship with, then they love me more, and then you'll realize, oh, that will never happen. So how does the character reshape their own life around that? I think that can be extremely interesting. So
no, yeah, it can be really good. And as you said, suffering can be really fun to watch.
I do love watching suffering. Okay. I have to pick again, right?
Yeah.
I think we already had this. So thoughts on fake dating?
Yeah. Have we had this?
I think
we've surely talked about it before.
Yeah. I
think fake dating, it's okay. I just don't. It's one of the forced proximity things that just doesn't really do that much for me.
I see.
I think it's mostly also because in my soul I feel that this is cringe. The idea of the setup, like imagining this in any kind of like nuanced way just makes it feel stupid. Like, because the setup for it almost never is compelling outside of like, oh, we needed something to make it work, so we all go along with it. There are basically no situations I can legitimately imagine where fake dating is a solution that I look at and go, oh yeah, that makes sense. I'd be like, that's crazy. Why the fuck would you do that?
But okay, you don't like the like undercover mission fake dating stuff?
I mean, I would say I have read fanfic in which I thought it was funny, but I don't find it compelling.
Oh!
I think there can be fun moments to it, but it is very much in the like, this is silly stuff category for me. And to me, that is also just, if I think about original fiction I've read, I would not want to read one where someone's doing fake dating.
Yeah.
Because then, if it's going to be serious, like if they're doing like a con or whatever, then I wouldn't put it under fake dating.
Mm-hmm.
I would put it under that's just like for work. I feel like fake dating is a lot more like, oh, my grandma wants me to date someone, and she'd be really sad if I didn't, so I'm pretending to have a girlfriend, and can you pretend to be my girlfriend, or whatever, right? Or I want my ex to not feel like I'm a loser, like I want them not to think that they won the breakup, so can you pretend to be my partner for this event or whatever? And I just think, like, it's comedy, it can be silly, but it's fine. Like it's,
So I'm gonna expose myself here and put that to because I genuinely enjoy the silliness. It's one of my favorite things, honestly. Especially if it's like you are correct. The silliness needs to be in there a little bit. Like the silliness of the situation. It's just putting characters into situations, you know? And I love it when that happens, and fake dating or like undercover fake dating and anything like that is my favorite thing because it's so fucking dumb, right? It's so dumb to be like, oh yeah, you two professionals, super agents, whatever. You gotta pretend you're a married couple and walk in there and get us the intel we need. There's 100 other more professional ways that would not make HR scream. You could do this, but I love it, and it's one of the things that usually gets us to the only one bed thing. So I love a fake dating.
I think there's also where I like how do I put that? I am much more interested and invested in stories that are serious and take their stories seriously than I am comedy. I also enjoy a good comedy. I think it's fun when there's silly moments in a serious story or whatever. And I'll also read like a funny thing. But I think my problem with a lot of the fake dating aspects is that it never feels like these characters take the situations either. They're like, they feel like children that are like, oh, now we have to kiss. Oh my god, no, I can't kiss. Where it's like, you're adults. It's just a kiss. Just shut the fuck up. No one's saying you have to fuck on camera or whatever, okay? Listen, it's just a kiss. Come on, it's not that deep where they behave like toddlers who are like, oh no, but then we have to hold hands or hug, and oh my god, no, which I think is pathetic and childish and embarrassing.
But if you already have a crush on the other person, that's tough stuff. You know?
Well, I can't relate. So to me, it just looks like they're being stupid.
No, I can assure you that these completely normal things, where you'd be like, yeah, okay, let's do it.
I get it, but I also think that ruins the tone for me, because I'm just like, what do you mean? You're in your 20s and you're like, oh no, we maybe have to kiss. Oh no. And it's like, dude, come on. It's the same way it's like, oh, when people, like the classic fake dating thing where they're like, oh yeah, you're together, prove it, kiss. And I'm just like, who cares? Just kiss them, whatever. What does it matter?
You come
That's not meaningful, like who cares?
And the person is like, you're together, make out right now. But that's why it's the romantic comedy section for me. And I do liking a romantic comedy. So
and the thing for me is that's not a genre I enjoy. So it hinges together. Yeah. I'm like, nah, man, this shit. It's just nothing to me.
That's why
it's not like I dislike it, but I'm just like, no.
That's why for me it goes into the other directions concerning like writing the trash way for books. If I feel like suddenly my trashy book is trying to take itself too serious, I'm like, why? We were enjoying ourselves. We were having fun. For me, The Bridge Kingdom was a romantic comedy and a romanticy background, okay? So, to like, a romantic comedy with a bit of murder, right? But that's why as soon as a book tries to be serious and tries to suddenly go, oh no, I want to say something political, I'm like, Okay. Since when?
I don't think you should. I don't think you have the chops to do something like that.
We're here for other reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I understand. Like, you like the silliness, and I find the silliness too stupid.
I also get yours. If you were to put this into an actual, like, okay, let's take a look at this sort of, like, you know, looking glass, it becomes quite ridiculous.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah. No, it doesn't
All right.
do much for me.
So, what's your next pick?
No, I picked fake dating, didn't I?
No, I picked fake dating. I was like, oh, we talked about this before.
Okay. Well, then, I think we've talked about love triangles before, but tell us your tea on
cracks knuckles.
Love triangle.
The question is, are we talking about an intact triangle, or are we talking about the typical love triangle?
We are talking about what is colloquial understood as love triangle, which is two people in love with the same person, or one person in love with two people. They don't have to have a connection. And I think I personally, this is off topic, but I find the weird gerrymandering around the term really stupid, because it's like, oh no, it's actually just a love angle. And it's like, no, the idea, the trope love triangle just means that those other two people typically also know each other and often have like an antagonistic relationship, but it doesn't mean that there are also romantic feelings there. That's not what this trope describes, because I promise you, poly relationships are not common in literature to the degree that people would use a name for a trope like that. So no, that part's not relevant.
What would we call like a love triangle that only goes in one direction? So it's like
really funny. I think that can also be a love triangle, I guess. I mean, it's not what's classically meant, but...
I know, yeah. So, as the local expert in love triangles, because I just, the presentation on Crown Tide, it's a situation similar to, I don't remember which trope it was, where you were like, I've been burned far too many times by this, and it doesn't really engage any... Like, it doesn't engage the lizard brain part of I would put it into... It could be an but because of the bad experiences, I would put it into don't like it, because it usually puts the usually female main character either into the position of two people are like fighting over me, for me, and I have to decide between hot guy number 1 and hot guy number 2, or it puts the female character into this, like, a position where she is the antagonist to another female character. It gets ridiculously misogynistic, fighting for this one man who has only one brain cell, and it just never, like... I feel like
sometimes the writer is Cassandra Clare, and it's actually a straight woman and a gay man having beef over one straight guy,
which is so funny. And they're all weirdly like sibling coded as well. I feel like the love triangle trope seems to me a lot of times it feels like how do I word this? Like, it supports this weird notion of, like, dating and love is a price, and this is like a competition, and one of us will win if they play their cards right. And that's just, being the idealistic little me. That's just not what love is about. And I don't feel any satisfaction for the main character picking one guy or winning over another woman. You know what I mean?
I can see that, yeah.
So, I don't like it.
I mean, I love drama, so I think this shit's funny. There are bad executions, absolutely. I am not debating this, especially the misogynist route where two women fight over a guy, where it's often just like, I don't get why either of you want to fuck this man, frankly. I don't get the appeal at all.
It's like, both wrong.
But listen, if you give me a stupid romance subplot, there better be some funny drama in there, otherwise I'm not engaged. So I actually think these are funny. I also I feel like love triangles are a lot more present also in YA than adult fiction.
Yes.
So I feel like I haven't even seen them as much recently. Because I've been reading a lot of adult fiction. I mean, can we say in a memory called Empire there's a love triangle? There's certainly some fucked up shit going on, but like...
Who do you want to triangle there?
I mean, Mahit also kind of is into 13 ads, so I was like, well, 3 secret... But also, there's a lot of baggage there, so you could triangle a lot there. There's a lot going on.
I was about to say, it didn't feel like that. I know you really wanted it. I know you wanted it so bad, but...
Because I think 13 ads is hot. Yes, correct.
But I didn't really see it that way, to be honest. I don't know. I really didn't. I'm surprised by this. But it's the rare pair shipper in you, I feel like.
I fight the hard battles, okay?
God's strongest soldier.
An underdog. I love an underdog. But no, I think they're very common comparatively in YA compared to adult fiction. And since a lot of YA, I can't really read through a serious lens anyway. I mostly just think it's entertaining.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah. Like, you almost always already know how it's going to end anyway. So you can just enjoy that there's also some silly drama on top of all the other silly drama that's already happening.
Yeah. I can see how that, like, at least makes something go on and it's, like, engaging. For me, it's just...
Right.
This time it's reversed. For me, this is too silly. I'm like, give me more. I like, this is basic shit. This elementary school trope, romance troping. I'm over it, It's like... I don't know, make one hit another person with a car, and then that's all.
I mostly just don't really have a lot of interest in, like, people actually being together, so I'm like, the longer it takes for anyone to get together...
I see.
At least then there's drama, When the drama happens when they're already together, then I'm just always like, just break up, oh my god. Like, if they start... Right? If they start developing the love triangle after two of them are already together, I'm just like, you should just break up. Like, even if they theoretically would choose the one they're already together with at the end, I'm just like, girl, I don't think you should still be together if this is a problem that crops up in your relationship.
But I feel like then that's, like, not even love triangle anymore, then it's just, like, the cheating trope, to be honest. It's just, like...
I mean, you don't need to be cheating to be in a love triangle, right? You can be, like, thinking about possibly being attracted to somebody else or being maybe in love with someone else without cheating on your partner. It depends on how... I think that's, like...
It's dependent on how far you go. At some point, it can be described as, like, emotional cheating, so... But yeah.
But there I'm also like, okay, emotional cheating, I think that's unrelated, but I do think that's kind of silly because, like, it's not like you can control who you're attracted to, right? So it's like, if you don't immediately break up, does that then mean you're emotionally cheating? That's silly. Like, I feel like that's a stupid concept to, like, obviously you can have, like, I understand that there needs to be a term to describe having this insanely deep relationship with somebody on the side who you also want to fuck, but you aren't quite fucking them, but you are still neglecting your partner in favor of that other person, but you don't have the guts to break up and actually cheat. But I do think emotional cheating is the wrong word term for it, because the emotions aren't the problem, right? Because, again, if you're trying to make a relationship work, even though you feel like you might have feelings for someone else, I don't think that is a bad thing,
I think
the term emotional cheating applies. So I don't know, maybe I'm just not in the being in love community enough to have, like, an opinion on this that matters, but it just strikes me as strange.
No, I think it's a completely fine opinion to have. In terms of emotional cheating, I think a lot of people also describe it differently, right? you fall in and out of love more or less strongly with your partner over time. That just happens. I think it also involves how far you go in your like relationship with that other person. Do you keep on engaging with them even though you shouldn't have to? And you're like, oh, I know if I spend more time with them and go like specifically out on outings with this specific person, and I know then my feelings are gonna be stronger. Is it really something that's like not like uncontrollable? Or could you just say, no, I'm not going out for a drink after work?
No, it's like you are basically in all ways that matter cheating, but you don't kiss or have sex with the other person, but otherwise you're basically dating the other person as well. Yeah, no.
So I don't think your previous thought is like ridiculous to have, because again, people...
No, I think it's a term that people use for a whole slew of different things you could be doing, so they also talk past each other when then someone says, oh, I think emotional cheating is fine, and somebody else understands it entirely differently, and then they kill each other with rocks or whatever.
That's an option, okay. That's why it's important to talk about, your own limits and like moments you draw the line in the relationship. So important to say, hey,
this is why everyone should break up always. Yes.
That's Reddit for you. Okay. All right.
Simple solution. No one is in the relationship ever. Relationship problem solved forever. Yes.
All right. So the last one is, drumroll, forbidden romance. What's your thought on that?
My thought on that is that I think it's kind of ass.
Okay. Elaborate,
the thing is, right, forbidden romance does overlap with other things I also like, but also every time I have seen something that is advertised as forbidden romance, I just thought it was stupid. So...
is it like a silliness factor again, or what do you mean in terms of it's stupid?
I think often it is advertised as things that are like, oh, this is like Romeo and Juliet plus this and this. And entire misunderstanding of what Romeo and Juliet is about, and also B, it almost always involves a kind of world building and setup that is just fundamentally stupid in order to create the reason why it's forbidden. Because it just... There have been historically, and still today, are many ways in which a love can be forbidden legally, or not necessarily legally, but can be socially sanctioned in such a way that people can't actually be together with who they want to be together. However, my experience with fiction is that typically it is a convoluted way to make a straight white-head couple struggle to get together.
Yeah.
Which basically always is extremely stupid. I just remember this one book I read when I was a teenager from the library. Oh no. Which was a dystopian in which a virus appeared, or was it... I don't know if they had made it in a lab on accident, but there was a virus, and now there was like all-out gender war. Women and men could not be together in a room without wanting to kill each other, so everyone was living segregated and gay by necessity because they still wanted to have sex.
I remember you told me about the gay compulsion book, yeah.
The forbidden love was that straight, cis, het... white man was in love with a straight cis-het white girl, and like their gay partners were unhappy about it, and their gay societies were heterophobic, and they couldn't be together, so they had to run away. This is what I mean. This is my association with forbidden romance. This level of stupidity, and that's why I can't. It's too stupid. I can't.
Oh damn! Okay. I remember you telling me about this, but I had immediately forgotten, and only now this memory resurfaced. I had the same reaction last time. Was the person on some sort of conservative agenda because they were like, look how bad they would treat the heteros if we all have to be gay?
I think it was written by someone who thought they were at least somewhat progressive because the men were still like super Christian adjacent religious and had like there was like a lot more violence on that side and like punishment, and the women were living in like this nature commune, and they were like, and also the gay lover of the male main character was an actual antagonist, and the female partner of the female main character was like, okay, I love you, so I'm letting you go, So that was, and I think actually in the sequel she also got like a straight love interest because there were several of these. I didn't read more than one, but like that, yeah.
Wow.
So there were layers to this. It was interesting. Yeah.
It's like that Rick and Morty episode where they go to the planet that's a matriarch and you're like, I like your shirt. I like your shirt. Oh my god, I like your shirt. It's like, oh, okay, all right. That's all women would talk about if it was a women-only society. I know that was meant to be the joke in there, but crazy. Well, for me, forbidden romance is I don't have a problem with it. Again, it depends a lot on why it's forbidden. I feel like forbidden romance it doesn't feel like an umbrella term. It feels like a root system term, It's not like you say, oh, this is a forbidden romance, and then there's like immediately a couple of tropes that come to your mind. It's more like, oh, it's a forbidden romance. You're like, oh, but in which direction are we thinking, Is this like, haha, forbidden, or is this like, oh my god, yeah, it should stay forbidden, It's sort of in that direction.
I don't think it's usually described. I don't think this is technically used as a
wording for that, yeah. But
things that are considered
kind of weird,
actually illegal,
or like
no. Well, I mean, some things are illegal that are perfectly morally acceptable. Like, in how many countries of the world is being gay illegal?
Yeah.
So. But I don't think this is typically used for, like, pedophilia, whatever. Like, I think that...
I guess I'm just too much, like, I don't read that, but it's in my TikTok...
I mean, I also don't read it.
No. It's in my TikTok algorithm, like, all the dark romance stuff, where I would say, well, yeah, this could be considered a forbidden romance, but it's more that this is, like a kidnapper, captor sort of thing with violent torture or stuff, where it's like...
See, but there I wouldn't call it a forbidden romance. There I would say that, like, it's not illegal to fuck your kidnapper. It's just weird.
That shouldn't be romance, That's like...
It's just a strange choice, really.
It's a strange choice. But yeah... what did you say earlier? Like, if somebody were to pitch me a story and be like, oh, it's forbidden romance, it would not tickle my fancy. I'd be like, okay... Yeah. What else have you got, I guess? Like, what else about it is interesting?
Yeah.
So
I think the thing is that there are things that are like that that I like, that some people might describe as forbidden romance. Like, you could technically maybe use the term, but I do think it's a marketing term used for something relatively specific.
Yeah.
Like, again, like for these kind of Romeo and Juliet situations where it's like, these two people are so horny for each other, but they're kept apart. Because I also don't think this is a term usually used for stories that deal with serious themes of like homophobia or segregation and race, right? I don't think that's typically how this is used. I think it's usually on the more frivolous side of fiction of people who are absolutely not oppressed for their love going, okay, but we have to have a convoluted system in which it would be illegal, and then it could be dramatic. And I was like, okay, sure, man, you can do that, but it's unserious.
It's like it's an accompanying hashtag, right? you could have
Yeah.
the trope secret royalty and then forbidden romance, and that would immediately give me more of a knowledge of what's going on than if it was just forbidden romance.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So, yeah. Well, let's take a look at this.
Wow.
We covered the whole board. We actually got it done. Let's see.
Finally, something isn't kill me.
It's, guys, every single time we do these sort of videos, we're all like, oh, we forgot the pregnancies, you know? And it's like, oh no, we need to cover them as well. So let's see, what do we have in Kill Me? I also added Touch Them and Die, yeah. That's just...
Which is extremely cringe. Like, it really just feels so embarrassing. Say it out loud and remember how stupid that sounds. You were not John Wick with his dead puppy, okay? You're a fucking weirdo.
I feel like that's honestly good advice. I feel like some authors should read out their dialogue that they put in there, especially if it's witty banter. They should have someone else read it out. They should grab their friend, partner, editor, whomever, and be like, read these sentences for me. I need someone to pitch in, and I need to hear if this sounds fucking stupid.
I mean, I recently watched someone review something and they mentioned offhand that they thought Ellie Hazelwood's banter was top tier and that's what made Bride and its sequel entertaining to read. So I think some people just have bad taste also.
Yeah, listen, I've heard the same thing about Ellie Hazelwood. It's another book podcast that I usually like to listen to on occasion. Mm-hmm. And I usually like their takes. It's just, when I heard that, and then one of them was like, oh yeah, and it inspires me in my own writing, I was like, it does?
Oh no.
I guess, people have different opinions on what they think is, interesting and fun and hot and sexy. That's why we're here with this tier list.
Yes, of course.
So if you...
Different people, different taste.
Pot and kettle and all that. So if you have your own ranking for these tropes, we of course love to see it. If you have any strong opinions on tropes that we sorted obviously wrong in your opinion, also like to hear that. Or any other tropes where you're like, oh, ducks, can you quickly elaborate on this in the comments maybe? And then we could also get to that.
We will be happy to elaborate.
We will yap everywhere, as you have probably noticed. All right. Have you anything else to say on this?
No, I think we're done. I think this is fairly evenly distributed.
Right.
Like, looking at this, it's not overwhelmingly blue at the bottom and like yellow at the top or anything.
This was not a hater-lover situation. This was everybody has different tastes. And
it's a truly mixed bag. That's nice.
I think there's the only ones we were like very different opinions on. Second Chance, maybe? No, you put that down there.
No, Second Chance.
Friends. I think Friends to Lovers is the biggest. Difference we had. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too.
Oh, that's fine. All right. That being said, thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.